Hey everyone, this is Josh with Visto for another episode of Talent Tips. I am here with Karam Tawfiq. Karam, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Josh, thank you for having me.
Awesome, Karam. Can you just start by telling us a little bit more about yourself and what you're working on these days?
Sure. My name is Karam Tawfiq. I've been in HR over 10 years, and my practices include everything from people analytics to people governance, operations, compensation, recruitment, the whole shebang. It's been a fun couple of years, and currently I sit at DAC Group. I'm the global HR leader. I oversee both EMEA and North America. I help and support the recruitment strategy along with the director. We're working on a series of projects internally, and we're consistently hiring in this competitive hiring market, as we all know. But that's a little bit about me, and that's a little about where we are at DAC today.
Awesome. And I was excited to have you on because you seem to have a very wholesome level of experience across almost anything HR related. So, really appreciative. Karam, our second and favorite question is: are you able to give us 3 tips to aspiring immigrants who are looking to land jobs inside Canada? What would you tell them?
Yes, of course. There are many, many tips that I can give, and this is just an overall arching recommendation. There's a lot of organizations, especially in Canada, and the one you support yourself, Josh, but there's a group called Access Employment that helps new immigrants in Canada. And that's a really great aim point. Access always helps people find employment or helps them with their resumes and so forth. But there are three major tips I look at. I think the number one thing is having an up to date resume and cover letter. And that seems rudimentary, but making sure that you have a polished resume and cover letter is so important because the reality is people read it, maybe not to the depth that you would like them to, but the first 30 seconds is the impression you make. And having a strong opening line that is drawing and a clean cut resume is important. The second advice I always give is start building your LinkedIn network. And everyone's going to ask me, why build your LinkedIn network? Create your LinkedIn account. Make sure your LinkedIn profile matches your resume. There's been so many times where we see a candidate's LinkedIn profile not match their resume. And then that means they're not telling the truth. So ensuring that you're on LinkedIn and starting to build those connections, just informational interviews with people, is step number two, saying, hey, Josh, I know you're a lawyer. I'm interested in becoming a lawyer in Canada. What kind of career steps did you take? And so forth and so on. That being said, once you've done that, it's the follow up. The most important step in Canada, and I talked about it multiple occasions, is really building your network. And without your network, you have no network. And so, what I really say is, you've now made these connections. You've connected with a few people, you've had the ability to talk to them. You're going to continue the conversation. Coming to Canada or coming into any job market, you know that you plan this ahead of time. You have plans to go to X country, in this case, Canada. You have months to build relationships with people, and you're following up. What that does is build a relationship for somebody who can support you or who can help you potentially in your job search as you come here. So those would be the 3 steps or tips rather I would recommend as you're coming into the job market in Canada.
Absolutely. There's a lot of value in there, and I totally agree with each one. Karam, this is a loaded question, as we know, but can you tell us a little bit about the roles that you're currently hiring for?
The question is, where do I start? So we have a crazy, crazy job market. It is a candidate market. So for all of you applying, the best time in your lifetime, potentially. That being said, we have a series of roles from application developers. We are both an agency in which we support marketing and SEO. So we have a lot of SEO, SEM roles. We are a performance agency, so we're big on strategy and analytics. So we have a lot of roles under that umbrella. And then finally, of course, the development world. We are a unique agency where we have an internal 100 developers, which is unique. That's what makes us competitive in the market. So we have those roles. We have over 60 open roles, and we're continuously hiring. We will be sharing the careers page link with you here, and please keep a lookout if there's a role that fits based on your experience. Do apply, but that's kind of a little bit of a background. The roles that we have currently open here at DAC.
Awesome. Yeah. And instead of going through all 60, I'll include a link in the description for anybody tuning in. So please make sure to check it out. And lastly, Karam, who else in the recruitment, HR, people, or talent space do you want to give a shout out to, specifically in the Canadian space, if you don't mind, if you have 1 or 2 people you want to shout out?
There is one specific person. He is in the Canadian space, and he is a phenomenal human being. His name is Martin Hawk. And Martin Hawk has created the People group. He's actually a good friend and one of the people that has helped me and as a confidant, so we actually connect all the time. Martin Hawk created the People group, and it is an organization that gets all its HR and kind of migrated to US professionals, but all of us together. His area of expertise is actually recruitment. He's currently the head of recruitment at Caseware. So a big shout out to Martin Hawk. He is a great point of contact. And really, he is changing that space of HR, and we're really looking at the HR space in a new lens. That is not as classical as we may have operated once upon a time. And so, shout out to Martin.
Awesome. I've had the pleasure of working with Martin. He's a great guy. So now I get to ping him again to get him on the show. Awesome. Karam, well, thanks so much for coming on and sharing the tips. Any last words, or if people want to connect with you or check you out or connect, where do you recommend they go?
Well, what I recommend is connect with me on LinkedIn. I accept almost all my connections. I'm a big proponent is if you don't know who I am, send a message. Say, hey, I heard you on this podcast, or you were one of my professors at Humber, or we worked together at a previous organization but didn't have a chance to connect. I always welcome a conversation because there are so many people in my career that help me, and I want to just pay it forward. So know that I'm here and I'm available. I may not get to you right away, and I apologize. There's a million LinkedIn messages that come through across from different people, but I'm always here to help in any way I can. Now, my only last recommendation to you is when you're reaching out to people, and I give this advice across the board, don't say, hey, I'm looking for a job. Can you hire me for this role? That is not helpful to you. That does not build a relationship, and that does not make you successful. Reach out, start a conversation, say, hey, Josh, or hey, Karam, I'm really curious to learn more about your experience. I'm coming to Canada. I'm looking for this job, or I want to enter this job market. What do you recommend I should do? I'd love your support. And I'm even happy to jump on a half an hour chat. So I think that's the approach you should take. And those are my last words.
Awesome. You heard it right from his words, folks. Now you know exactly what to, or similarly to say to get the best chance of success. Awesome. We will be linking to Karam's LinkedIn profile and the careers page that we mentioned. And of course, if you're interested specifically for those in tech, definitely check out Visto.ai, whether you're talent looking to come to Canada or you're inside Canada looking to do some hiring and leveraging some of the awesome immigration programs. Thanks again for coming on, Karam. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Josh.